and you're telling me you're serving 20 years for something you don't know anything about. Is that what you would like us to believe?
No, ma'am. It's just,
One?
it's just I'm nervous. It's just my first time.
Okay, well, let me put it like this. Telling the truth won't make your situation any worse than it already is. You already have 20 years. You already have 78 months left on your federal sentence. So telling us the truth can't make your situation any worse. So all I'm asking you to do is be honest with us about what happened in this manslaughter case.
And we are about to watch the parole hearing of a man who has both his Louisiana sentence and a federal sentence waiting for him after he completes his Louisiana one. And it was for a homicide that took place while there was supposed to be a transaction between guns, trading an assault rifle for handguns. I'll go over the report at the end in the unpacking. We're also going to hear an incredibly emotional statement by the victim's mother. Now, I'll unpack it, like I said, with the details and an update on his sentencing at the
Okay, this is a case for Cedrick Smith, DSC 727040, classified as a first felony offender, offense, criminal conspiracy to manslaughter, sentencing date, October 12, 2017, sentenced to 20 years. Parole date is July 3rd, 2021. Good time is August 31st, 2023. Full term is July 3rd, 2036. Is this information correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jackson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. How are you?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm fine. I've been assigned your case this afternoon, and I've reviewed it, and I'll be asking you some questions. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
25.
How long have you been incarcerated in connection with this crime?
4 years, 9 months.
And although you're listed as a first offender on the pre-release report, pre-parole report, do you have a federal conviction?
Yes, ma'am. I got to go to federal custody and start a sentence, another sentence.
All right, so you got 60 months. You got 18 months on one charge and 60 months on another. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were given 3 years of supervised release. And so I'm assuming that because of this charge that you're in jail for now, that is a violation of your supervised release?
Yes, ma'am, but I was out on bond and I caught some extra charges, and the U.S. Marshals picked it up. So I took 7 or 8 months, which is 6.5 years in federal custody. Then I came to the state and took 20 years, and I got sent to the state. But I still have to go to federal prison and start on my 6.5 year sentence.
And that's what I wanted to clarify, that even if you're paroled in this case, you're not getting out of jail because you have to go and start serving your federal sentence. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's talk about the charge that you're in jail on in state court, the conspiracy to commit manslaughter. What can you tell us about that situation? What happened in that case?
They just said an incident occurred, and I know.
No. I don't want to hear what they just said. I want to know what you say. You were there. You know what happened. I'm not interested in what somebody else said. I need you to tell us what happened.
Somebody's life was taken.
Okay, well, who took somebody's life?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
This just new to me. I'm nervous. I don't
That's
know.
okay. I don't want you to be nervous, but Mr. Smith, you're serving a 20-year sentence, and you're telling me you're serving 20 years for something you don't know anything about. Is that what you would like us to believe?
No, ma'am. It's
That
just
one?
it's just I'm nervous. It's just my first time.
Okay, well, let me put it like this. Telling the truth won't make your situation any worse than it already is. You already have 20 years. You already have 78 months left on your federal sentence. So telling us the truth can't make your situation any worse. So all I'm asking you to do is be honest with us about what happened in this manslaughter case.
I'm not. I don't know. I ain't trying to criminate myself. It's just, be recharged and nothing like that. Like, I really don't have a full understanding of what's really going on right now. Like, I don't want to say nothing. I don't know.
Well, you've already incriminated yourself. You pled guilty and you're serving 20 years. So that case is closed. I'm trying to decide whether or not you're a person to take a chance on, but really, I don't think it matters very much because you still owe the 78 months. But sometimes you have to man up. And manning up means accepting responsibility and stop playing games. And maybe it's hard for you to admit what happened in front of your family, and I can understand that. But if you're not able to acknowledge that you've done something wrong and man up and tell the truth about it, then I don't have any hope going forward that you're going to make any different choices.
Yes, ma'am. I am going to make different choices.
Okay, well, maybe not. What kind of programs have you been involved in since you've been in prison, Mr. Smith?
I got substance abuse.
And why did you take substance abuse classes?
I just was trying to take every class just to clear my mind. And
Or did you have a substance abuse problem?
yes, ma'am.
What kind of drugs were you using?
Marijuana.
And what else?
And promethazine and codeine.
Okay. And how long had you been using those drugs?
Since I was 16, 17.
Okay. Well, you had a possession with intent to distribute heroin. So tell me about heroin. That's one of your federal charges.
That's something that I had once I was released on bond for the murder charge. I just started selling heroin.
Okay. So you're on bond for murder and you thought it was a good idea to sell heroin.
I knew it wasn't a good idea. I was just thinking as a child. I knew it was no good idea, but I ain't had no role model or nothing. So I just did what I really thought was cool. I ain't know what I was really doing when I started selling
it. Yes, you did. You were selling heroin to get money rather than getting a job and earning money.
And no place won't hire you.
Okay. Well, okay. I see that you lost 210 days of good time. Why did that happen?
Still dealing with drugs.
What does that mean? At least you
I
can tell.
got caught with some drugs, with some Suboxone,
And when did that happen?
14 months ago.
And how did you end up getting caught with Suboxone?
I was sitting on the bench and the police came in there and they had a cigarette pack.
How did you end up with the Suboxone?
I bought them.
Okay.
It was a drug I was using.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, Mr. Smith, that's really all I have to ask you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Ms. Renata, any questions?
Sir,
Is there, Deputy Graham, is there anything you can say about Mr. Smith?
Oh, sorry, he's been here, he had one disciplinary, minor disciplinary and 12-7-20,
Okay. And what was that for?
minor theft.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Tisha Jackson?
Yes,
Ms.
sir.
Jackson, would you tell us your name, please, and tell us what you'd like to say?
Yes, sir. My name is Tisha Jackson. I'm Cedrick's fiance. I just wanted to put out there that we miss him a lot, and I know that he's done things that is not acceptable. And I think that throughout these 4 years that he had to sit and think, that he's realizing the mistakes that he's made and the choices that he's made, and he just wants to be here for his daughter. We have a 5-year-old daughter. She's going to elementary school this year. I just recently lost my mom in the month of June, and she was there to help me with my daughter, but she's dead now, so I don't have any necessary help with her, with my daughter anymore. And I just think that it would be great if he would be able to be released so he can get, I'm sorry,
It's all right.
so he
Take your
can get
time.
a chance to watch his daughter grow and help me out with his daughter. She's going to be starting a magnet program.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jackson. I appreciate your comments. Ms. Denise Hamilton?
Yes,
Ms.
sir.
Hamilton, if you'll
Yes.
please just introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like the panel to know.
I'm Denise Hamilton. I'm Ortez's mother. I don't think he should be allowed to come home. I just think he's a menace to society. They're missing him as a son and as a father. I'm missing my son as a son. I won't get to see what he would have became in life. It's a lot of things that we're missing. We miss him every day, and he's been gone almost 6 years now, and I miss him so much. So I just don't think he have any good in him. I don't think there's no good in that child, no matter where he came from or what he's done. I just don't think there's no good in that child at all. So to release him to come home to harm somebody else's child, somebody else's father, I just don't think he's ready for that. He haven't learned some lessons. Just people don't get some lessons they don't learn. And I just don't think he's ready for society. And I don't think he should be allowed to come home.
Thank you, Ms. Hamilton. I appreciate your comments. Mr. Smith, is there anything you'd like to say before the panel votes?
that I'm sorry to Miss Denise Hamilton. If I could take everything back, I would. I'm sorry for what I truly done. I promise I am. And if that make you feel better with me being incarcerated, I'll stay. I'm really sorry. I wish I could trade my life for your son, because I know you don't deserve that. I lost my mom. I promise I'd take it back if I could. I promise I'd die right now to bring your son back. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Is the panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Okay. All right, Mr. Smith, I really hope you are genuinely remorseful, because that's the only way you're ever going to change the person that you are. I don't think that you have truly been rehabilitated. You've continued to not conduct yourself properly, even in prison. You lost 210 days of good time. You also had a minor infraction for theft.
Yes, ma'am.
And, I see an unwillingness to accept responsibility, and that may be because you're afraid that there'll be some more negative consequences to that. I hear what you're saying to Ms. Hamilton's family, but there is nothing you can do to make their situation better. Nothing. And I hope you understand that. But I really hope that you are genuinely remorseful, because if you are, then there's hope for you. And maybe Ms. Hamilton is wrong when she says that there's no hope for you. But if you have genuine remorse and you understand the pain you've caused other people, and you are determined that you're never going to do that to anybody else for the rest of your life, then I think there's hope for you. Also, you have a 78-month sentence waiting for you when you finish. So even if this body were to grant you an early release, it would only be to go to your federal sentence. For those reasons, I'm going to deny your request for an early release. I hope you continue to grow. I hope you continue to mature. And I can't speak for Ms. Hamilton, but I would imagine that the best thing that you could do for her right now is to honor her son's memory by becoming a better man yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Ms. Renatza?
My vote also is to deny based on the poor conduct record, the opposition expressed here today, and the law enforcement opposition.
Thank you very much. Mr. Smith, you have 2 votes to deny. My vote is likewise to deny for the same reasons as my colleagues. I would like to encourage you to work inwardly, as Judge Jackson has pointed out to you. You've got a lot of work to do. And I certainly hope that you do that work. So good luck to you. Your parole has been denied today, but we wish you well.
Yes, sir.
I don't think Tisha, his fiance, understands how much time he's actually backing, because how would you show up and plead, hey, parole him so that he can come home and be a father to my daughter, which, first of all, the insensitivity to that, being that he stole the son, the mother is there, she's crying hysterically on the screen. We can all see it. And for you to plead, but forget even that idea. It's the fact that he's not coming home. He's got a federal detainer. So is someone lying to her? Do they not understand it? Does she not? I mean, and so he did complete his full time. He was released earlier this year, at the beginning of 2024. According to Vine, it's this January 4th, 2024. And so he's working on his federal time. But, there's something interesting about this case, and we'll read through the details of it in a bit. But I actually felt, and after seeing so many cases, I felt like he was being more genuine. I didn't think that he was, the idea that he didn't want to talk about the case, that he didn't want to go into. I actually think he was genuinely scared. He didn't understand, like, is this something I can talk about? Like, I think he actually just doesn't understand the law and has been told, don't talk to, don't say anything without an attorney present, and just didn't understand it. That's my impression. I don't think he was trying to be, doing anything other than that. And I did, you'll tell me how you felt. We're not an echo chamber, but he didn't rub me the wrong way. he seemed remorseful, and what he said about, hey, I'll do more time, it didn't sound manipulative to me. And we've seen it all. I actually think that I don't know, that's just how he came off to me. I know that it's like you're trying to have it both ways. He could have been more straightforward in the parole hearing, but okay, anyways, that's just my takeaway. I didn't feel a hatred towards him like we do, or like he was being very insensitive. I just didn't get that. I don't even know if he pulled the trigger. Yeah, I think he might have just been involved in it, and I think that because he was out on bond and he started selling, slinging the magic dragon, that they just got pissed off and they threw the bucket and were like, "Really, you're going to be out on bond and you're going to sell heroin? No." And then they threw the book at him. We don't often see a federal, and I think the federal might have been because they were trading firearms, and maybe that happened. I don't really know. I don't understand it, but they did throw the book at him. That's a lot. I mean, we just covered a case earlier today where there was someone who got charged. It was the same hearing, so you'll eventually see it. The same day, the same docket, the same panel, and someone came on where 4 people were shot, 2 were murdered, and it was this charge of conspiracy because they didn't know for sure if he pulled the trigger, but they believe he did because there were 3 firearms used and 3 people arrested. And he only got, he got 7 years. He was paroled after 7 years. So, it's just, it's like, it just seems so random, these sentences. Let's go through it. Man, he's a baby in this picture. He still looks like a baby there. It's just, the whole thing is just so East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Department has made 2 arrests in connection with the separate cases earlier. Cedrick was arrested in connection with the August 19th murder. The case was subject to recent WFAB Crime Stopper segment. According to deputies, the shooting happened just before 9:30 p.m. It was taken nearby hospital where he later died while in surgery. Deputies say that he received information that Hamilton had arranged a meeting with an unknown man or men to trade 2 assault-style rifles for 2 handguns. Witnesses later identified Smith as a man seen running away from the scene. Smith turned himself in into police on Friday evening and was booked and charged with the illegal use of a weapon, second-degree murder. Okay, I actually have an update for you. I have an update because I emailed Sir Richard before I started unpacking this case, and then Sir Richard got back to me. I was curious. I was like, why would Miss Bonnie Jackson, the judge, say to him, it doesn't make a difference anyways, because if you get out parole here, you're just going to have to work on the federal time. And that's because the judge sentenced it to run concurrent. So it wasn't a consecutive sentence. Now, here's what happened. He got out. Because Sir Richard says that he must have gotten credit. Let me even share with you this email. You can see this in real time. Actually, I'll just share it on here. I don't want to expose his email. So this is just the response back. Okay, so that means that his federal sentence ran concurrent and ended June 1st, 2022. So Miss Bonnie Jackson was right on that. He must have taken some more classes and earned good time credits, releasing him before May 23rd, 2023, or that's the date he was transferred to Webster Parish, and he lost good time, pushing his release to December 31st. So Richard did not watch this case. He is correct. He did lose good time. And see, it's always so helpful to have someone to write to in these things. I'm trying to clear my mind. Remember, if I'm watching 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 20 cases in a day, your brain starts to melt together. So either way, this is what happened. He obviously immediately got back into narcotics because he got caught up in this month-long investigation, and he was arrested on May 17, 2024. So he's back. He got arrested again. So it's just, he's going to spend his entire life in prison. And what can you do? The one thing, it's kind of like how it ended. It ended with Miss Bonnie Jackson saying the one thing you can do to honor his life is to just do the right thing. And while he can't stay out of prison. And with that, I'll let you go.
But I really hope that you are genuinely remorseful, because if you are, then there's hope for you. And maybe Miss Hamilton is wrong when she says that there's no hope for you. But if you have genuine remorse and you understand the pain you've caused other people, and you are determined that you're never going to do that to anybody else for the rest of your life, then I think there's hope for you.